Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about horizontal integration. So, this topic and what I'm going to talk about today is largely influenced by the work of Dr. Dan Siegel. So, Dan Siegel talks about how we can integrate our right side of our brain, which is responsible for things like creativity and emotion, with our left side brain, which is responsible for things like logic and language. So, if you are good at horizontally integrating, then you would be good at things like expressing how you feel. So, if you find yourself thinking things like, I don't know, I just feel bad, or I didn't like that, but it's hard for you to come up with what is the emotion that you're feeling in that moment, then you might need some help with horizontal integration. I'm going to give you 3 ways today that you can work on your horizontal integration. You can kind of get better at helping your right brain and your left brain communicate with each other. Way number 1 is to label your feelings. So at the beginning, before you can start expressing your emotion to other people, you have to get better at kind of knowing what is the emotion that I'm feeling myself. So one of the ways that you can do that is by labeling your emotions. I often encourage clients to take the inside out characters: joy, anger, sadness, disgust, and fear, and sort of decide, okay, which category does this feeling fall under most? Is it mostly joy? Is it mostly anger? Is it one of the other emotions? So just kind of picking a category and just starting with those labels. And then eventually you can maybe come up with more detailed words. So maybe it's not exactly joy, but maybe it's contentment or happiness. Maybe it's not exactly anger, but it's frustration or discontent, right? So just sort of introducing more vocabulary and kind of practicing labeling. Oh, right now I'm feeling sad. And you can just be doing that internally. You can just be practicing, oh, that disappointed me, that frustrated me, that angered me, that upset me, and this is the feeling that I'm feeling, right? So just sort of labeling feelings. Second way is to express your feelings out loud. So this can be to another person or it can actually just be to yourself. I often have clients just leave themselves voice memos that say, I had an interaction at work and these are the things that I was feeling about that interaction, and just sort of articulating out loud. And part of what happens in our brains when we do this is that we have to slow down the very quick thinking that's happening in our brains in order to have those thoughts and feelings come out our mouth. So you have to be able to form a cohesive sentence, and that takes some processing. And in doing that, in taking those thoughts and turning them into words, you're processing that emotion and you're integrating right side and left side. And the third way that you can start to practice that horizontal integration and kind of build that skill is to do some journaling. So when you're writing things down, and you can write with a pen and paper or you can type, but when you're doing that, you're engaging that left side brain, right? That very logical, language-based left side. But if you're journaling or typing about your feelings, then you're also engaging that right side. So if you're saying, I don't really know how I felt when I had that interaction at work, but I know it didn't feel great. I think maybe I was frustrated and actually maybe a bit angry. And you can even use the internet, use a dictionary, use a thesaurus to kind of give yourself some of that language for how you were feeling. And as you're doing that process of writing or typing those feelings out, you're working on that horizontal integration piece. So it's a really important skill, and it really helps you be able to express your feelings, not only to know them yourself, but to express them to others. So good luck with your horizontal integration, and leave us a comment down below and let us know how it's going.